Seriously, I mean, I had a little something, but I don't know. I don't know. We shall see. It's all one. It's all good. Take it wherever you get it from. Ernest Holmes says, it don't matter where you find the truth. Take it wherever you find it. Yes, a day at a time, oneness. We still on that. We're going to be on that for the rest of the year. A few spiritual principles just to help get us anchored this morning, though, in the message. And these spiritual principles come from what Ernest Holmes titled as What We Believe. If you'd like to have a copy of what I read on Sundays, you can also get a copy if you are on our mailing list. The full out version, we've added some non-jargon and some further interpretation of what the principles mean. But this morning we're working with spiritual principle number 1, and it states, we believe in God, the living spirit, almighty one, indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. We believe this one manifests itself in and through all creation, but is not absorbed by its creation. Spiritual principle number 2, we believe in the individualization of the spirit in us, and that all people are individualizations of the one spirit. Spiritual principle number 11, we believe in our own soul, our own spirit, and our own destiny, for we understand that the life of all is God. And finally, spiritual principle number 3, we believe in the eternality, the immortality, and the continuity of the individual soul forever and forever and ever, expanding and always becoming more and never the less. And so our theme for the month, listening part 2. I think I'm going on year 9 now as the spiritual leader here at the Center of Peace. And I know, right? I didn't say that for a clap, but. And the themes flow through. I don't go seeking and searching after themes. It really is an act of listening to allow the theme to emerge. And so in all of the years now, there's never been a month where we've had a part 2. And suddenly we have a part 2. So I don't know if we have to be with this part 2, if it's for me to be listening, or if it's for you, or combination thereof. But I am certain that it means we should be listening. Part 2. We ought to pay some attention to the messages. And last week then we were extended the invitation to consider that listening, this sacred kind of listening that we've been talking about, this holy type of listening where we enter into the quiet, where we get still, where we turn our attention to our inner life. Last week we said that when we are in the act of listening and engaged, that when we emerge from it, the way to tell that we are truly, truly listening is that we'll soon come to realize that listening changes everything about us. Deep listening, a sacred kind of listening, it changes everything about you, this listening. From this kind of listening, what happens is you talk differently. You walk differently. This type of listening that we're talking about, you see differently. You hear differently. You feel more deeply. This kind of listening that we're talking about, we might be joining our brother 2 Chainz then in his affirmation, in his song, how you say it? I'm different. Yeah, I'm different. I'm different. Yeah, I'm different. I walk differently. I talk differently. I see differently. I hear differently. I feel more deeply. I'm different. Yeah, I'm different. Not in a cocky kind of way, but in a God kind of way. As we emerge from our act in the practice of listening, the Bible suggests that we refrain from pouring new wine into old skin. This is the kind of thing that I'm talking about. In fact, it says that it's impossible. You can't pour new wine in old skin. It's impossible. And so it is with us when we are engaged in the act of listening, quiet, still, cool in the mind, that what happens is we become someone new. And when we become someone new, we must find a new way to live. It's impossible to live the way we have always lived, because we're different now. And so this calls on us then to search ourselves, to really search ourselves in a way that we get to our heart's truest desire, what it is that we are really desiring. Because what happens oftentimes we have not really searched ourselves in a way where we are present to our hurt self, our mad self, our sad self, and sometimes even our happy self or our glad self. And so in that way, we speak about things that we desire not as a whole being, not as our whole self. And in some ways, the things that we're desiring really might not be the things that we are desiring. You understand what I'm saying? So listening requires that you search your whole self so that you find your heart's truest desire, the thing that your whole self is desiring, so much so that until you get it, until you have the experience of it, you won't stop seeking it. Desire in this kind of way. But you must search yourself. And the problem with the searching ourselves to bring ourselves back in a way is that sometimes it can be challenging and sometimes it can be painful. Sometimes the self that we are bringing before us to be present with, we have buried it so that it's challenging and difficult. And so we are easily then distracted by everything that's going on in the world. But our work is not to be distracted, but to find ourselves so that we can get clear about what our desire is. Howard Thurman says something like this. He says, within each one of us, there is an inward sea. And in that inward sea, there is an island. And on that island, there is an altar. And on that altar stands our heart's truest desire. And there stands that which we have given our consent to. So our heart's desire then is the thing on the altar that we've given our consent to. That is our heart's truest desire. And so in this way then, listening insists that you become aware of your heart's desire, and not only does it insist that you become aware of your heart's truest desire, it also insists that we, as I said last week, to stop chasing and stop pursuing and stop running after things and to start allowing the thing that we desire to be experienced and expressed in us. Because the thing is that sometimes the thing that you are pursuing, you don't even want it. That's not even what I want. For real, right? So you got to be clear about it. You got to be very clear about what your heart's desire is. And there it is, sitting on your altar. There it is for you to visit day after day. There it is, the thing that you are seeking, that nothing can get in the way of you experiencing. There it is on your altar. But last week I said there's a difference between pursuing and chasing and allowing. One tires you out and the other inspires you. One depletes you and one fills you up. One, takes everything out of you and nothing more that you can do just in your tired pursuit. A dog that's been outside walking in the sun, something like that, your pursuit of the thing. So stop pursuing and stop chasing. As I said last week, because when we're pursuing and chasing a thing, it's likely that you're going to hurt somebody or you're going to hurt yourself. So how do we stop our pursuit of a thing and start allowing? How do I stop pursuing peace? How do I stop chasing after love? And how do I start allowing love to be experienced and expressed through me? How do I allow these things to start to have their way in my life? Well, the problem is that in this, sometimes I think people enter into spirituality, into these principles and into their own sacred kind of practices, thinking it's kind of like the game. What's the game with Wayne Brady? Deal or no deal. Let's make a deal. Let's make a deal, right? Oftentimes we enter into it and we think that there's something greater behind door number 2. That there's something greater in the box, right? Isn't that how it kind of go, deal, make a deal, or maybe under the seat, right? And so you get to make a deal. That's one game, but that's not the game that we are playing. So it's not like that. It's like that, or people have that sentiment because they are unsure that if the thing that's at the, that we are sure to experience, that it's better than what we are already experiencing. We're so unsure of it that we enter into it like we can make a deal. But there's no deal to be made. Because when we enter into our sacred listening, Ernest Holmes says it's something like this: when you found the ultimate, it's the ultimate. Like, that's it. That's it. And so let me just say this, is that the thing that awaits, that we think that there's that we are uncertain that there's anything greater than, it's not just that the thing that awaits is greater than, it's cosmic. It's cosmic. It's mind-blowing. It's more than sufficient. It's more than enough. It's not teeny-weeny. It's cosmic. The peace that we're talking about, the love that we're talking about, that is a derivative from our listening, it's cosmic. Reverend Michael Beckwith, he likes to say that we come out and we've had a cosmic orgasm. It's cosmic. I'm trying to get y'all to understand what I'm talking about here. It's not teeny weeny. Y'all got it. It's cosmic, like no other. Like it don't get no better. There's nothing better behind door number 2. What's in the box is not better. Entering into listening, it's the ultimate. And when you found the ultimate, it's the ultimate. listening. But we question if it is. If what we already have or what we already know, is it better? Is it bigger? Is it brighter? We just forgot there's only one door to open. There is no door 2 and door 3. It's just one door. And truly what awaits is cosmic, life-changing. So, how do we allow ourselves then to begin? How do we move ourselves into a place of allowing? So a few things. Number 1, you've got to become aware. Number 2, you've got to realize that you've got to let go of some things. Number 3, you've got to be willing to enter in. And number 4, you've got to be willing to recognize the truth. 4 things. Ernest Holmes, in his book, The Science of Mind, in a reading titled, I allow myself to dip deeply into my divine nature, on page 559. Here's what he says, and this is from his meditations. If you're not familiar with the book, in the back of the book, he has some meditations, and this is one of the meditations. He says, this meditation is built from the idea that each one of us has within ourselves a deeper nature. And of course, this deeper nature, being an eternal unity with God or with the living spirit, is more than man. It is where the being of man or the nature of man merges into the being of God, so that we dip deeply into our divine natures. Let us realize that entering the secret presence of the tabernacle of God, we will, like the pilgrims of old, have to shed that which does not belong to the kingdom of good. We have to deliberately drop that which would hurt. We cannot enter into this gate of good with a sword in our hands. So we let go of everything and turn to the divine depth within our own nature, wherein the Spirit of God, the Spirit of love, and the Spirit of peace dwells with calm serenity. We withdraw into that place within us which has never been hurt, nor has ever been sick, has always and forever lived in divine and eternal peace, the kingdom of God, which is good. And this inner kingdom within is all peace, all power, and all perfection. So, he says that we must become aware of our eternal unity with God. We must become aware that we can never be separate and apart from God. That's number 1. If we are to be moved into a space of allowing. And how do you do that? Well, you have to be intentional about your practice. A day at a time. Nothing less and nothing more. A day at a time. To realize your unity with God, nothing less and nothing more. Get established in it that God and I are one. So established in it that the word becomes realized for you. Number 2, you have to realize that you've got to let go of that which does not belong to you. If it doesn't belong to you, you've got to let it go. If it doesn't belong to you, it doesn't belong on your altar. Because if it's on your altar, it's the thing you come to worship. You've got to let some things go in order to allow peace to be pervasive, to pervade every area of your life, to allow love to proceed you, to pervade every area of your life. You've got to let some things go. You've got to let the things go that no longer serve you. You've got to let the things go that don't belong to you. Because if you don't, you place them on your altar. Remember, within us is the inward sea, and in that inward sea there is an island, and on that island there is the altar, and it's you and I alone who place upon our altar the things that we come to worship. So if it don't belong to you, if it's not yours, if it's not giving you life, it don't belong on your altar. If things are on your altar that shouldn't be on your altar, you have to go back and search yourself again to find out why it's on your altar. Where did it come from? Did I place it on my altar from my pain self, from my hurt self? But you got to be clear. Because if it's on your altar, it's the thing you are worshiping. And third, then we have to enter in. Ernest Holmes says we enter in where everything is eternal. We enter in where everything is infinite, where everything that's available is eternal and infinite, available, where everything is available, eternal and infinite. It's available, eternal and infinite. What that means is then that we don't have to wait for it. Peace is instant when we move into it, when we enter into it. Love becomes available to us the moment we enter into listening. Peace becomes available to us the moment we enter into listening, into this sacred kind of listening. Things become clear the moment we move into this listening, this sacred kind of listening. It becomes clear to us. Because it's infinite and it's eternal. It's instant. It's not something that you are in pursuit of for eternity. If you're chasing, if you're pursuing, no, you're chasing, your pursuit will be forever and ever. You're going to be real tired. No, but what we're talking about is what's instant and available, infinite and always, always, always becoming more and more and more. And it's instant. I told you it's cosmic. It's cosmic. Instant. Instant. So after we enter in, soon we begin to realize that the thing that we are seeking is seeking us. Howard Thurman has a reading titled, God is Seeking Me. But we're in such a pursuit of things that distract us. And we do have time, and we are in pursuit of God, and that's good. But sometimes we get so caught up in our pursuit of God that we forget that God is seeking us. The very reason that you are seeking God is because God is seeking you. The thing that we are seeking is seeking us. The peace that you are seeking, it's seeking you. The love that you are seeking, it's seeking you. The peace that you are seeking, it's seeking you. The calm that you are seeking, it's seeking you. But to not allow ourselves to enter into listening in this way, in a sacred way, in a holy way, Dr. Howard Thurman says it would be tragic. Tragic to miss out on what's cosmic would be tragic. I mean, tragic to miss out on God. To miss out on love in a way that you've never experienced it, it would be tragic. Tragic. So I think that's all I got. Practitioners. Join me as we take a moment to get ourselves even more settled and centered in this divine power and presence called life, called God, called love, called joy, by whatever name you choose to call it. Let us simply become aware of it as our very life. Let us in this moment enter into it in such a way that listening, that our sacred and holy listening, that in it we become so united with the divine power and presence of God within our own selves, that bonds us to the God, to the great power and presence of God that is everywhere, so that we begin to know that there is no place that we can go where God is not. No situation, no circumstance that we can find ourselves where God is not. It's in the greatest and the grandest, and it's in the smallest of the smallest. God is, and we are, ever one with God and all that it is. And so from this place, in this space, then I affirm for you, as I affirm for myself, that today is today that we begin to allow this power and presence to have its way in us. That each one of us be so willing to let go of any of the little games that we might be trying to play, to see what's behind door number 2 and what's under the seat and what might be in the box, that we be so moved today that we let all of that go, and we enter into the one door, the only door, that we enter into the ultimate and begin to experience the ultimate, because it is the ultimate and there's nothing more. Let us enter into it knowing that what awaits us is cosmic, is magical, will blow our minds, will move us into a place where we get so clear about the thing that we desire that nothing gets in the way then of our seeking it. Nothing gets in our way of placing our truest heart's desire on our altar. Let us know and affirm then that today our altar on the inside, that it is a living and breathing thing, that it informs and it transforms who and what we really and truly are, so that each one of us begin to talk differently and walk differently and see differently and hear differently and feel more deeply and affirm that I'm different. Yeah, I'm different. I'm open and available to the divine power and presence of God that is always speaking to me, and here I am listening. My guidance and my direction is always on point. I'm always guided to the right situation and circumstances. The right situations and circumstances are always finding me. I'm always guided to clarity when I'm seeking it, and it's instant. I'm always in the midst of love, because for me it's instant. I'm always in the midst of peace, because for me it's instant. I'm no longer in the pursuit of what I know to be already is inside of me. Let each one of us be so moved to move into our practice of listening in this way, that when we come out of it, we don't even know who we are. Or we can sing with others, I'm changed. God is first in my life. I'm changed. I'm grateful in this moment to be able to speak these words and to know the truth of these words in the depth of my soul, as I know it to be there and in the depths of who and what you really and truly are. As I see each one of us as we really and truly are in this life of ours, as it really and truly is, we give thanks for it as we call it what it is, good and very good. Let us be so moved in that we gather the words that have been spoken, the songs that have been sung, the eye glances that have been had, the love that has been experienced, the clarity that's inside of us, that as we take it all and we release it into the mighty law, letting it go, letting it be. And in this instant, then, we know it to be so. It's already done. Let us just accept that it is as we come together in agreement then by saying, and so it is. Journey on throughout our week. Let me remind you that there's only one door to enter into, the door of listening. And what awaits? Cosmic. And so it is.